I'm Dan Rather, and tonight on CBS News.
In a shocking development, the federal government says being broke is allowed, but if you're broke and glowing, you are officially now a suspect.
You can't be glowing more than your financial status. Look your problem.
Producers have confirmed next season of Love Island will merge with the Hunger Games. Only one couple will survive the new format. Everyone else dies.
Senator Buck Nutley has unveiled his Big Girthy bill, a new proposal meant to rival the Big Beautiful bill. But does size really matter?
Good evening. This is White Liberal News. You can't spell liberal without liar. We know it's difficult to maintain an army of midwits without setting off all of the lunatics. For more, we go to our favorite professor with Lindsay.
Thanks, Karen. I'm at the university to get talking points from Professor 𝐶𝐿. And also my hair is like multicolored now. But the professor isn't here. He's still totally missing.
Well, I thought that's the story we were doing. You thought it was, and Professor 𝐶𝐿 isn't around. This seems like men letting us down as usual.
Last time I saw him, we talked about some feminist stuff. Then he invited me to his house for the next interview. I told my brothers who were very excited to meet him, and they're usually uninterested in my work at White Liberal News. And I get it because they're straight white men and they're Christian, but sometimes I don't get it because, like, I don't even hate my dad like others at White Liberal News tell me I should.
Well, as a liberal woman, even though the task isn't complete, we will reward you anyway because equity. The robber made off with 8 packs of Newports and $300. The gas station cashier is morally superior and refused to give a description of the suspect. To remind our viewers how much they should hate their own country, we go to a foreign-born politician.
They're on to us. We need to leave now. Everyone, grab what you can.
We apologize. This may not be a good time, but are you able to push some of the messaging or...
Karen, I really cannot talk right now. I just want to reiterate that my country is much better than the USA. I hate it here.
Well, thanks for your time. We can hopefully arrange another time for you to bash the country that gave you opportunities people born here don't even have.
We need to go now. Almost done.
Really? Already? Do I look ready for a new Latinx weather reporter?
Well, President Trump announcing 2 new luxury visa programs, a gold card and a platinum card. The gold card will cost $1 million for individuals and $2 million for companies. It will allow foreign nationals to get U.S. residency, quote, in record time. And the $2 million corporate card is transferable from one employee to another. Now, the platinum card is going to cost $5 million and will allow foreign nationals to spend 270 days in the U.S. without paying taxes on their overseas income. Now, currently, of course, we all know that U.S. citizens and residents have to pay taxes on their U.S. and their foreign income. Foreigners who are here for more than 183 days during a 3-year period that uses a special IRS formula, they too are currently subject to tax on overseas income. The platinum card, however, will extend that time period to about 9 months. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick saying that the new $100,000 H-1B fee, gold card, platinum card, all expected to generate $100 billion in revenue. That's going to be used to lower taxes and pay down debt. Now, the gold card will replace the EB-1 and EB-2 programs. We have yet to hear, initially they said this would replace the EB-5 program, which is very popular and costs $1 million and requires you to create at least 10 jobs. But if people can pay the same amount and not have a job requirement, which is what the gold card is, that will be a lot more attractive.
The shocking trend of Labubu violation continues as more and more people are finding their dolls' holes stretched wide open and reeking of shame.
If you thought Bigfoot was bad, wait till you meet his gooey cousin. A kumsquatch was just spotted in Dongwood National Forest.
Did you know IKEA has released a home glory hole kit called the 𝐔𝐽𝐻 hole? It includes pre-drilled panels, mounting brackets, and a stain-proof finish. We begin with breaking news out of Massachusetts, where residents are reeling from what scientists are calling a cum-comet impact.
Officials are asking everyone to stay indoors and to wear N95 masks in case of cum aerolization.
President Trump kicking off another busy week.
He calls his reflection fake news. He tried to pardon himself from Monopoly jail. He once tried to buy the moon. Great real estate, nobody lives there. He autographs subpoenas before reading them. He holds rallies in front of mirrors so the crowd is always double tremendous. His hair has its own non-disclosure agreement. He insists, if I was on Mount Rushmore, it would be called Trumpmore. So many people are saying this. His skin tone was invented in a Doritos lab.
So, Keisha, what's a high-value man to you?
A man that gave me 10 kids, 3 evictions, $10 on Cash App, and still pull up in a Nissan Altima that sound like he got...
Good evening, I'm Tom Tucker with some breaking news. A local kidnapping has rocked Quahog tonight. Rocked Quahog? Really? The whole town is... the family, maybe, is rocked, but the whole... All right, well, in any event, we now go live to Asian reporter Tricia Takanawa. Let's see how much she's rocked by all this. Tricia?
Tom, I'm standing here with Mayor Adam West with the latest information about the disappearance of young Scotty Jennings. What can you tell us, Mr. Mayor?
Please, Mr. Mayor is my father. Call me John Mayor. Your body is a wonderland, by the way.
What is the city doing to help rescue the missing boy?
Well, we're looking for this child using all the latest technology, including the newest, most advanced multimedia milk cartons.
Help me, I'm missing! Help! Why are you still eating breakfast? I'm kidnapped! Why are you turning me the other way? I'm still here!
Donald Trump is here tonight. Now, I know that he's taken some flack lately, but no one is happier, no one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell? And where are Biggie and Tupac?
I didn't know they were here already, but you think I would have chosen this outfit. Welcome back to White Liberal News. We won't suddenly claim we're not left because we are not giant like Miss Now. We know most of our audience has no true interaction with Latinx on a regular basis. Otherwise, you would have never said Latinx. Thanks to our Mexican correspondents, we have a plethora of options for our new weather reporter. So we will need audience feedback. Keep in mind, no reporter is illegal. The winner will allow our viewers to have diversity vicariously. The losers can pick crops, as the Democrat Party reminds us. Too much? What's too much? What's too much? That dig at Miss Now? You see what they're doing, right? Okay, fine. I'll take it off. But I'm not going to tone down anything else. They need to know I'm the HBIC. We thank our applicants. We only want feedback from the leftiest liberals possible. If you've ever successfully bench pressed your weight, we don't want to hear your opinion. Join us next time when we interview cultures that had thousands of years of a head start, but got colonized by total noobs.
Welcome to the Black News Network. I'm your host, OG Dimebag Slime. Tonight's story, a gender reveal turns violent when local Bloods open fire on the party after blue confetti is released. Chaos erupted at the Glockton's backyard gender reveal when the cannon popped blue, indicating a baby boy. The husband's side of the family, all Bloods, immediately sprung into action by lighting that bitch up. During the scuffle, some of the confetti floated into a neighboring yard, causing additional shots to be popped off in that direction. Fortunately, no Henny was spilled during the ordeal.
One of trying to make it to work without yelling at a pedestrian. Pray for me, y'all. Still alive. Still unemployed. But baby, I look G-O-D doing it. Oh my God. I'm not even late. I'm just dramatic. Y'all know I will risk it all for a good melon.
That male loser, at least you can fathom him having a wife at some point. Tim Walz, on the other hand, looks like he cries in bed after the deed. Good evening. This is White Liberal News, reminding you of what the left was when we had all the power and funding. Suddenly, groups that use violence to instill fear for political goals are a bad thing. For more on that, we go to our body positive hire.
Thanks, Karen. Thank you for this opportunity, too.
Colette, but you don't have to thank me every time. Let's just... Okay.
This has been like my dream since the first episode I watched and ordered Popeye's chicken.
We have a lot of anti-American messaging to get through today.
Okay, so I found some people who are about to ignite a mostly peaceful protest against this restaurant owner for saying silence isn't violence.
We know words have no point other than to be used for power. So we changed the name of how we define things.
I don't know what that even means.
It's a concept only smart people like us can get. Basically, we make up our own definitions and terms. Yeah.
Like how woman doesn't mean adult human female, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me, we see a 70-year-old man and we have the numbers.
Oh,
We are going to confront his
Colette?
fascism. One moment.
Could you explain why they're attacking a senior citizen?
Karen, they're fighting fascism against an old man who was wearing a Cincinnati Reds baseball cap. They tell me luckily it was 2-on-1, otherwise fascism would win.
That makes sense. He's wearing a red hat. Nothing about this behavior should make us reflect even a little.
So the dictator says Antifa is a terrorist group. So we changed our name to BISIS, boom, problem solved.
The name is to honor the group that feels the same way we do about this country and to insert our sexuality into everything because that's what leftists have to do.
Karen, I'm not as educated as other liberals. I still think it's a crime to burn down a restaurant, so I'm going to leave before their protest begins. Back to you, Karen.
Thanks for the coverage, Colette. Now we go to a rich white actor who is brave enough to speak out in the way 95% of the industry speaks out.
Hey, John, would y'all let me fly the plane to Iran? I thought B2 was my apartment number. Oh my God, did I just start the war?
Introducing ChatEBT, the newest AI software limited only to 13% of people. ChatEBT isn't just another basic AI myth. It's built for real-life situations. Let's showcase an example of a man asking for food recommendations.
I'm starving, gang. Let's open ChatEBT. What should I eat tonight?
ChatEBT is fully aligned with real-time data, giving you the most accurate, up-to-date definitions anywhere.
Define child support.
Unless you ask it to define child support. But ChatEBT isn't just about words or recommendations now. It helps with your everyday tasks and repairs, giving you the best solutions in real time. Here's an example.
Dude, this thing is so annoying, man. ChatEBT, how do I fix this?
You don't. Thank you all for your time today. We're excited for you to experience the future with ChatEBT. We'll see you soon.
Yo, what's up, you guys? Let's do some news. What a week. Universal Black, yeah, it's been a hell of a week. Simp juice, anyone? Yeah, we got some simp juice. Where that? Bang. Yo, what's up? Quiet storm in the building, Lord of Brooklyn, Irvin Reed. All right, guys, let's do some news. The two things actually I want to cover is we're gonna do lefties losing it at the top, but I want to cover I didn't even know Elon started this huge boycott on Netflix for all the tea business and the cartoons. And there's this new open AI release, Sora. So there's a lot of AI news lately. Things is moving fast. So yeah, let's get this cracking, man. Let's it's the Sabbath. I'm gonna do a little short one, but I want to get my reps in. So let's start this off with some lefties losing it for the week. Let's see what we got.
Good evening and welcome to a program devoted entirely to lefties losing it. Now let's start at the very bottom, rock bottom. Let's work our way up. Let's delve deep into the gutter to find the sort of vile lefty that is beneath contempt, the sort of person who thinks it's fun to mock a grieving widow. Just imagine how soulless and desperate for attention one must be to do this. That young man, I forgive him. Yep, that was the miserable former Fairfax columnist Clementine Ford, and she not only mocked Erica Kirk, but also shared these callous and frankly batshit crazy comments for young men mourning the loss of a great man.
Like, his most ferocious male fans are so fucking gay for him. They're all crying out of their penises in my messages. You're so mean. You're a fucking fat.
I'm not even gonna lie. That's a funny fucking lie. Crying out of the penis is word. That's funny.
You have no morals. Charlie's dead.
That's the modern left for you. They are as toxic and thick in Australia as they are in the US and the UK. Now let's go to the US and hear from another scrote. This one sounds demonic.
Hey MAGA, how bad does it hurt? The Jimmy Kimmel's back, but you guys can't get your person back.
And guess who that is? That is Shelby Campbell, a Democrat candidate for Congress in Michigan. No, really, she is.
Hi, Michiganders, specifically Detroiters. Do you guys care that Charlie Kirk has passed away? Yeah, I didn't think so.
The left is absolutely in shambles. Gong faces. Like, all of the right and left politics aside, this is what they've got running for Congress. And the left is literally devoid of talent, and they're all pseudo psychopaths. A lot of these people can't be elected just on the sheer fact of incompetence and mental stability.
Because my district is primarily black people, and Charlie Kirk said awful things about.
Bang, there you go. This is what I'll be talking about. Liberal white woman, half out of her. Yeah, Quasham, Detroit, hold this out. My district is primarily black people. These liberal white women de facto hiding behind blackness to push their agendas. So I keep telling you, they already got the Keishas doing this shit. And Keishas is co-signing for this shit. Y'all goofy ninjas but don't sign up for this shit. Any of this left shit. I don't want to hear no liberal white woman talking about black nothing or black this or people of color this. They're the chief beneficiaries of affirmative action, DEI, and now they're trying to get all the immigrants to stay here, and they're backing that play so hard to shore up the voter bloc so basically they can stay in power, bro. It's a bait and switch.
Black people. So no, I think my district will like me because I advocate for them as a white person. So
Charlie Kirk did not say terrible things about black people.
You want this goofy advocating for you? This goofy Caucasian?
Anyone who does not subscribe to her worldview.
I literally blocked my brother yesterday. I'm not speaking to my mom, my stepmom, my dad. I'm collecting them like Pokemon. I'm like, who can I block next? And it stinks, but I just think that you have to stand for something. And I think as you get older or mature, and I feel like you guys are already far more mature than I was at your age, you have to stand for what matters to you. And when you see things happening, you have to say.
You guys see what's on your screen. This is a body positivity advocate. I'm not even gonna say it.
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Quashone said, I take a lot of heat from short bus news scum, but Detroit better not vote this tool into office. Fact, though. She said, what you mean? Mental offness. Oh, you mean illness. They wear as a badge and use common sense as a Molotov cocktail. Fact. Why back look like like cotton candy? She said she look like cotton. Bro, she do look like cotton candy. She do look like cotton candy. Oh, shit.
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
In my opinion, and I understand that there's like safety concerns, and I have a lot of privilege as a cis white woman saying those things.
Look, I'm just happy the Ozempic Dodger is taking a stand, because standing will involve some move.
Yo, this Indian bro got jokes. Yo, she be throwing shade these whole episodes. That's why I cover these joints. She said the Ozempic Dodger.
And anything that gets her moving, I think, can only be a positive. Now to tennis legend Serena Williams, who decided that she was bored with her vast wealth, her charmed life. She was going to find some way to play the victim. Even in the luxurious surrounds of a New York City hotel, she somehow found a way. Bravo, Serena, bravo.
All right, everyone, how do we feel about cotton as decoration? Personally, for me, it doesn't feel great. So actually, it feels like nail polishing for cotton, natural.
Imagine being so triggered by a cotton plant when you make millions every year from flogging Nike garments, you know, the ones made out of cotton. But we're supposed to be alarmed because at some point in history, slaves picked cotton, and Serena carries some sort of generational trauma, and the mere sight of cotton sees her posting stupid videos on the internet. If Serena is that bothered by slavery, perhaps she can check out the conditions at some of those Nike factories that keep getting such bad press. Now to run off this all-female edition of Lefties Losing It, and yes, that includes Gavin Newsom, who's coming up. He's an honorary Banshee tonight. Let's hear from Kamala. Listen to this and ponder for a moment. What would have become of America? What would have become of the free world if she was president?
Invariably, somebody would want me to take a picture or to hug their child. And someone in the back would hand that baby over through the crowd.
Up to you.
People who would
bless the baby.
But pass the baby.
See?
And then pass the baby back.
Pass the baby back.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
I just lost like 4 brain cells listening to this. And they're right. Imagine if she had become president. And this freeze frame is perfect too, because Kamala only talks to sassy gentlemen of the Democratic Party or softball news reporters.
And I don't know, there was something about that when it would happen.
What can you even say? It's terrifying. Terrifying. But we must not dismiss Kamala as some sad joke, some word salad clown, because she's also dangerous. Listen to her here engage in some inflammatory rhetoric at the worst possible time.
At a time such as this, it demands one thing for sure. We must fight fire with fire.
Now let's hear another example of Democrats engaging in reckless rhetoric, particularly knowing how unstable and prone to violence their supporter base can be. Here is California Governor Gavin Newsom, the man who wants to fail his way up to the White House. Here he is with Stephen Colbert demonizing ICE agents who are just doing their jobs.
Masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process. No oversight, zero accountability happening in the United States of America today. People ask, well, is authoritarianism, you're being hyperbolic? Bull, we're being hyperbolic. If you're a black and brown community, it's here in this country.
You know, the man who imposed pointless mask mandates on Californians during COVID suddenly seems very triggered by masks being worn to protect the identity of ICE agents from the left's violent, radicalized activists. Gavin doesn't seem to get that.
ICE, unmasked. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
A few days after those comments, an anti-ICE gunman, Joshua Jahn, launched a deadly attack on an ICE field office in Dallas. The FBI revealed this lunatic had expressed...
Yeah, I saw what you just sent me. She do look like that big giant cotton swab. You know, that's ridiculous. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yo, Detroit, what up, Playboy? Yeah, we just doing some news. Where we at?
A desire to instill terror in ICE agents, but in his botched attack, he managed to only kill and injure detained migrants. Let's check in on actor and simpleton Mark Ruffalo, who is dazed and confused. He's not coping in Trump's America.
I don't understand what's happening right now. My industry doesn't understand what's happening right now. But what they do understand is our freedom of speech is being attacked.
Another absolute hypocrite who suddenly cares about free speech. They were cheering on their ideological opponents being silenced, being cancelled and deplatformed. Give me a break. Now, let's go to Lefty Losing It regular Rosie O'Donnell, who, despite fleeing to Ireland to escape Trump's America, does nothing but talk and think and obsess about Donald Trump. Even her therapist is wondering why she's so obsessed.
What he's done yet hasn't even hit us yet. Right. And if he's not stopped now, we have lost our country. And I don't know, Nicole, how it is that some people cannot see it.
She looks like somebody's angry old uncle. All right, bet. I'm done with that. Let's
And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Yes, it. Yes, namely, the Max Headroom story.
All right, let's go to Chicago, because I didn't know this actually happened. Is this really a Black Hawk? This is a Chicago. Democrats find out as residents go ballistic over ICE Black Hawk helicopter military raid. I like this.
And she says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher said she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? And I told them no, I didn't.
She said she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher says she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out for them, even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Citizen video shows the chaotic scene overnight. Neighbors tell us there were dozens of ICE agents.
Yo, I ain't even mad at it, man. They really think Trump is playing, bro. Quiet Storm said the music is diabolical. I know. Like, bro, we gonna cover some of the Portland thing too. Like, bro, it's out of hand. Yo, listen, man, I'm all for it. Trump ain't playing no games, man. I'm with it. They had a Black Hawk hovering the projects. Should have been playing Ice Cube's Ghetto Bird. Hell yeah, yeah. When when FIFO meets Delusion, when Fuck Around Find Out meets Delusion. Yo, and you know what's the thing is, he was going to do this to Chicago the first term, and he bent to public opinion. He ain't want to seem like he was being heavy-handed. This time, he don't care. Like, bro, let this rock.
I'll come around the corner.
Look at his big Aunt your mama, goofy Keisha. These the same people would be like 50 people shot on the weekend, 5 of them kids. You know what I'm saying? Talk about where's the human, bro. I'm telling you, like Tito said it. The moderation on the right died with Charlie Kirk, and I'm feeling something like, bro, we don't care, man. Clean all this shit up.
He said, "Some kids."
Fuck the kids.
Boy. So,
yo, she said, fuck the kids. You see? She said, fuck the kids.
Let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
Oh, I gotta tell you guys, the thesis of this video is going to be the Trump administration, promises made, promises kept, right? That should be the slogan of the Trump administration, okay? Because on President Trump's biggest promise, okay, which is the mass deportations.
Yo, facts, Irvin. He said they refuse to stay out the way and keep their mouth shut. Yeah. And as far as this shit with Chicago, Brendan Johnson brought this shit on. Holman been saying from day one, yo, we don't even want to go in the neighborhoods. Open up the prisons first. Let us get everybody out of the prisons let us go through the roster and who's set for deportation. We'll empty the prisons first. If y'all make us come down there and go on the ground and have to start serving warrants, we're going to scoop up in the process of serving the warrants, we're going to scoop up everybody we find. If they got open warrants, even for stuff we ain't looking for. If they with their family, we're going to take their family. We can avoid it. Open up the prisons. We want to empty the prisons first. They wanted to play hardball. Yo, get down there and let's crack some fucking eggs and make an omelet.
Closing the border, fixing this illegal immigrant problem that we have in this country. Nobody can argue that this man has not put in 100% effort into fulfilling that campaign promise, right? The results have been amazing. This is going better than I could ever expect, okay? To be honest with you. I mean, realistically, politicians make promises and I guess the way that you can judge a politician about whether or not they kept their promises is, okay, did they put in a legitimate effort?
And I'm with him on this one. This is what I've been reiterating this, as we cover breaking news stories and on the Sunday panels. Whether you like or hate Trump, the man ran on a bullet-pointed platform. He said, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E. And he won with a mandate, popular and electoral vote. And since day one, at light speed, he's been going out of his way to cross A, B, C, D, E off of the list. That's all he's been concentrating on. And off that sure fact alone, you understand what I'm saying? You ain't got to like it, but you got to respect it. He said he was going to do something when he was running. He got a mandate to do it. And since he's been elected, he hasn't been doing anything but A, B, C, D, and E. You may not like the way it's going. You may not like the way it's executed. But he's stuck to his campaign promises about what he said he was going to do. Storm said he is working harder and faster than Joe Biden's auto pen. See what I did there? Yeah. I see what you did there, Playboy. I see what you did there.
Right, to do so. Yeah, I think with immigration, yes. On some other topics, like, for example, cutting spending, no. Right? They didn't put in a legitimate effort. But no politician will ever put in legitimate effort to cut spending, right? It's just not going to happen. So once you accept that reality, it's like, all right, okay, what are you actually putting a legitimate effort into, right? Immigration being, again, one of those things. I got to say, stories like this are a great example of what I'm talking about, okay? Because I predicted that we were going to see a mass invasion of these Democrat cities by ICE, and that's happening right now, and that this was going to be something that was going to be very controversial, right? And the reason why is because with the big, beautiful bill, ICE is receiving $75 billion over the next few years, probably about $25 billion a year, okay? Which is bigger than most countries' military budget, right? So basically, ICE at this point has unlimited resources, unlimited manpower, and the result of that was never going to be a good outcome for Democrats. And the Trump administration strategically in court as well too, they've been testing Democrats to see what they can get away with.
Got myself muted. Bingo, exactly what he just said. Well played, George. Well played. I've been making that point too. Like these, Trump arresting judges, pushing the lines, waiting for all these federal judges, trying to block his stays, and him having to go to court with the Justice Department and fight the lawsuits and file lawsuits against states and cities. That's a legal and strategic game plan. He's creating case law around this deportation and sanctuary city situation. And every win that he gets by his DOJ against these federal judges, forcing the Supreme Court to make decisions, it increases his leeway with ICE and being able to get these efforts up out of the country, and at the same time destroy the Democrats' base of power. Trump's playing 3-4 dimensional chess on him, man. And like he just said, the big beautiful bill put $25 billion into ICE every year. That's bigger than some military budgets of some countries. And you think, okay, maybe you may be thinking that's overreach. It's not. We got domestic terrorists here. We got actual terrorists here from other countries. We got heavy cartel infiltration. We got PDF files. We got to get these people up out of here, and at the same time destroy the Democrats' imported voter base. It's a smart move. We just got to survive the midterms. Like we said the other night, we need 7 new Republican senators. We got 53 Republican senators. We need 60 for a majority in the Senate. That means we could pass legislation in the House and Congress right now, but once it gets to the Senate floor, we need 7 Democrats to vote with us to push it all the way through. So we need 7 Senate seats. You feel me? Quiet Storm says no tax on OT. I made an extra $200 this past month. I reserve judgment after the income taxes next year. Yes, sir. Oh, cash app inbound. Oh, let me check that. Storm says he is taking in cash. Yup. Suing all these news networks and media outlets as well. That's right. I think he just won against, was it New York Times? 𝐷𝐎𝐿 in the place. He's raking in cash. Let's see. They just destroyed another cartel boat, Venezuela. I saw that. I'm going to have to cover that tomorrow. Like I said, it's been a hell of a week, man. Trump don't sleep, bro. Trump don't sleep. Trump don't sleep. Oh, Quiet Storm. Thanks for the cash app, brother. Don't let that brother be alone. Let's do some goddamn drops.
More pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Yeah! Don't go away, folks. We have more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Yeah! Don't go away, folks.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Transfer complete. USS Enterprise now under command of Captain Tony Soprano.
Now get the out of here. Captain's log. I'm currently trying to change my business profile, if you know what I mean.
It's the money. You're supposed to be earners. That's why you got the top tier positions. So each one of you crack some heads, create some earners out there.
I do not understand.
Oh, nobody knows what the I'm talking about.
Sir, the Federation...
I don't want to hear about the fucking economy either. I don't want to hear it.
What about it?
She got your ass.
Storm said, I love an administration that's always keeping the media on their heels. Trump and is nonstop entertainment, and people hate him for it. I love it. Facts. He said, I'll send another cash app. Can go to Keisha in Iraq. All right, bet. We find you Keisha in Iraq. Oh, Detroit 313. Yeah, that's Tony Soprano's in the Star Trek. That shit is funny as hell. Let me load up that Keisha in Iraq joint for you, man. Yo, Saul in the building. He said salute on the road listening. Yo, shout out to Saul in the building. In the motherfucking building. Give him a Max Headroom drop.
And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more. Because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Yes, it. Yes. Namely, the Max Headroom story.
Good afternoon to you both. Well, Alderwoman Jesse Fuentes.
Yeah. So he tried that out in the clubhouse with us.
Yeah, I thought I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
He has constitutional rights. Do you have a sign?
No, you need to leave. Turn around. You're
turn around and leave. He is under. I'm going to arrest you. You are going to be placed under arrest. Turn around. Do you have a sign? You need someone.
Hallway by registration to come here, please. Well, Alderwoman Jessie Fuentes was joined by dozens of people, including other elected leaders outside this hospital, demanding that ICE let an immigration attorney speak with an undocumented man inside. She says that it's when she was asking for a warrant that she was detained. Video from the Citizen app shows Alderwoman Fuentes asking for that warrant, saying that the man had constitutional rights. She says she was put in handcuffs and later released when she challenged ICE agents, asking what law she was breaking for her to be arrested. We have reached out to ICE for comment on this incident and have yet to receive a response. Alderwoman Fuentes says the undocumented man inside the hospital is roughly 37 years of age. It's not known exactly how this man broke his leg or how this all unfolded. She says that she wants an immigration attorney to speak with him.
People deserve to get medical attention and not fear that they are going to get detained or deported. And so I arrived to the emergency room in which the ICE agents were sitting in the room with the individual. Outside of that room, I asked the ICE agents if they had a judicial warrant for the individual that they were detaining.
Man, look at this. This butch. I ain't even gonna say, bro. None of this is black man's issues, bro.
See, the problem with this clown, because that's what she is, she's a clown, okay, is that ICE is already in the patient's room. They're already in a private area. So because they're already in a private area, it is safe to assume that they've already showed their warrant, right, to the administrator, the person that is responsible for the hospital, right? Some type of person in charge, the boss or whatever, right? They already probably showed the paperwork to the people that they need to show it to. Okay. Again, the administrators of the hospital in order to be in that room. Okay. They don't need to show it to some random Democrat alderman. Like you don't have that type of power and authority. They don't have to show paperwork to you. Like, who are you to come into the hospital and demand for ICE to show paperwork, right? You should assume that because ICE is there, they've already shown their paperwork to the people that they need to show their paperwork to, if they even need to show paperwork, right? And if they didn't show paperwork, it's still not on this Democrat alderman. That still doesn't give this person naked adults and allegedly naked children, right? We don't have that video, okay? I'm not saying I want to see that video.
And asked me, did I have any warrants? And I told them.
For hours, end quote. Take a listen to this chilling local news report on what happened.
I spoke to one woman who actually lives in this building, and she says she was detained by ICE agents overnight, and she says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher said she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? And I told them no, I didn't.
She said she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher says she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out for them, even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Citizen app video shows the chaotic scene overnight.
Fuck the cats.
Yo, PS Nell is so dramatic.
Fuck the cats. Fuck the cats. Yo! Yo, that shit is funny. Fuck the cat. Fuck the cats. Yo, this shit is hilarious. Yo. Yo. Oh man, Sauce says South Shore, Chicago. Facts, he said you need Trump to hit up O Block. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, if they send ICE to O Block, that shit gonna be crazy. So it says somebody should tell them immigrants are in the schools being hidden, not in the neighborhood. Yeah. Yo, look at yo, fake liberal white woman outrage is always the best, bro. It's yo, this shit is funny as shit. Yo, you can't get this. You can't get this under any other president, man. You can't get. I got to clip just this news segment with her say, "Fuck the kids." That's got to be a drop. Fuck the kids.
Maddie, bro. Does anybody really believe?
Hold on, I want to.
Fuck the kids.
Yo, that shit is funny as hell. Oh my god. Man, let's load up this Jesse Waters segment. Oh man, good. Oh, yo, Storm, here go Keisha and Iran drop for you, bruh. Hold on, where's the John? Bang. Yo, that's fuck the kid shit is hilarious, guys. I gotta clip that. Fuck the kids. Fuck the kids.
This just in. The United States has officially deployed its most reckless and unpredictable unit to the Middle East, the Ultima Team.
Girl, I'm lost. Keisha, guess where I am? Girl, they sent me to Iran. Who's gonna fill in? Girl, that. They got some good ass food here though. Did you not see me? Dead ass. Move. I don't even care for real. Bitch.
Thanks, Chris. Known for their unmatched ability to cause complete havoc in school zones, Walmart parking lots, and Taco Bell drive-thrus.
Y'all lucky I ain't bring Keisha.
The Pentagon has confirmed these drivers were selected based on 3 things: unpaid registration, loud exhaust, and vibes. God help us all.
Yo, all right. Let's get up to date with Jesse Waters with the montage of liberal nonsense for the week. Since it is Friday and Universal Black, you want? He said, "Dude, pull the Bernie." The ICE agents pulled the Bernie Mac. Hell yeah! Oh man, Universal Black, you want a sheet?
She got your ass.
All right, man. Yo, this news desk turned out to be funny, bro. All right, let's go.
Team's party was a dud, so AOC threw her own fiesta at Casa de Schumer.
Right, guys, so the government is shut down, which means that Capitol tours are closed, but we had a bus of kids from the Bronx and schools that came all the way down here for a tour. Obviously, no one knew the government was shut down, so I'm giving them a tour. Say hi, everybody.
Chuck takes one day off for Yom Kippur, and AOC's in the Senate giving a tour. Or was she just scoping out her new office? If Schumer wants to keep his digs, he's going to have to keep the government shut down. Chuck's getting squeezed in between 2 buns like a hot dog. AOC inciting far-left activists to flood the phone banks, pressuring leadership to hold the line. Schumer's fighting a 2-front war against MAGA and Marxists.
New York is probably going to elect a Marxist for mayor. He's terrified by that development. Chuck Schumer is a far-left progressive politician, but he's not far enough left for this base.
Sources are saying Schumer and the sombrero aren't being taken seriously by anyone in Washington.
Schumer and Jeffries, never in my career have I seen 2 leaders so dismissed, not just by the media, which normally loves Democrats, but privately by Democratic members of the House and Senate. They're really just, people are just rolling their eyes and throwing their hands up and saying, you know, there's nothing we can do. We're not going to depose them now, but they are not leading us.
Hips and Chuck are just trying to keep their jobs. They don't want to shut the government down, but they have to, because the base is itching for a fight and they have these 2 on a leash. So Hakeem's begging for another meeting with Trump.
In fact, Donald Trump is in the Presidential Witness Protection Program. No one can find him when it comes to the government shutdown issue because he knows he's responsible for having caused it.
Trump's ready to reopen, but he doesn't have to prove anything to his base. He's not on TV all day looking like a desperate puppet. Because behind the scenes, he just reportedly got Hamas to end the war. Trump's not caving and giving free health care to illegal aliens. The White House says for every day Democrats keep the government shut down, the sombrero gets 10 times bigger. Hakeem spent more time fighting over a hat than he did fighting to keep the government open. And Hakeem's not the only one wearing a sombrero. Trump dropped this one just before midnight.
Hola, mi fellow Americanos y bienvenidos al cierre de Schumer. That means welcome to the Schumer shutdown. We call it the Schumer siesta, right? It's the Schumer siesta. He put the government on Brian Chuck and 𝐒𝐔𝐄𝐒 Jeffries. We used to call him Dollar Store Obama.
Yo, Trump is the ultimate fucking troll.
Emotional damage.
Yo, he's the ultimate troll.
Why is Hip so sensitive about a hat? He wore a yarmulke. And Bill Clinton rocked a sombrero at a Labor Day picnic with the Mexican dance team. He considered it an honor. Obama wore hats.
Yo, Davey pulling up some real goofy footage of Obama, guys. Davey pulling up some real goofy footage of Obama, man.
Hey, woman. Hey, woman. Listen here. Since your old man ain't got no heart, maybe you'd like to see a real man. I bet you stay up late every night dreaming you had a real man, don't you? I tell you what, bring your pretty little self over to my apartment tonight, and I'll show you a real man. You want it? You got it!
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Democrats didn't find that offensive, but Barry did admit it wasn't a good look. He said, the general rule, you don't put stuff on your head if you're president. You never look good wearing something on your head. Although Biden didn't look bad with a Trump hat. Plus, it drove Kamala crazy. Whether it's a red hat or a sombrero, now Hispanics are begging him to throw a fiesta.
Is the president open to letting the Hispanics who overwhelmingly voted for him have their own fiesta in the White House lawn opposed to the fancy, we don't need fancy schmancy, right? You can give us the backyard and we'll fill it all in and have in our own fiesta.
The White House says they'll lend them the big, beautiful ballroom if it's ready by Cinco de Mayo. Trump's throwing siesta fiestas. Meanwhile, Democrats can't get anyone to show up to theirs. There's nothing fun about old men screaming about the Civil War.
We are living in an unprecedentedly dangerous moment, maybe the worst crisis in America literally since the Civil War.
Civil War, race cards, Obamacare. That old Nancy Pelosi playbook isn't going to fly against Trump 2.0. Maybe that worked once, but now it just looks like it's for show.
People want to see us fighting. They want to see us have a backbone. They want to know how we're different from Donald Trump. And, when we don't fight hard, especially when the entire enterprise of democracy is at risk, then we don't seem sincere when we tell people that there might not be a free and fair election in 2026.
Murphy just admitted he's trying to fool his own base. He's trying to convince his base he's not a phony.
Yo, shout out to 𝐷𝐿𝐒 and International Quiet Storm. For the Cash Apps, don't let them brothers be alone. I stole that from Tito. Don't let them brothers be alone. But shout out to 𝐷𝐿𝐒, shout out to Quiet Storm. Let's play some goddamn drops.
This just in. The United States has officially deployed its most reckless and unpredictable unit to the Middle East, the Ultima Team.
Girl, I'm lost. Keisha, guess where I am? Girl, they sent me to Iran. Who's gonna fill in? Girl, that. They got some good ass food here though. Did you not see me? Dead ass. Move. I don't even care for real. Bitch.
Thanks, Chris. Known for their unmatched ability to cause complete havoc in school zones, Walmart parking lots, and Taco Bell drive-thrus.
Y'all lucky I ain't bring Keisha.
The Pentagon has confirmed these drivers were selected based on 3 things: unpaid registration, loud exhaust, and vibes. God help us all.
Off by a
All right, 𝐷𝐿𝐴 Ida. I heard you're looking for a new car today.
You know your girl needs a new ride.
Well, we do not accept EBT, so get the fuck out. All right.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. Man, fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Man, fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. Man, fuck all you hoes.
Hey, woman. Hey, woman. Listen here. Since your old man ain't got no heart, maybe you'd like to see a real man. I bet you stay up late every night dreaming you had a real man, don't you? I tell you what, bring your pretty little self over to my apartment tonight, and I'll show you a real man. You want it? You got it! You got it!
All right, bet. Let's rock, man. This turned out to be a pretty good news desk.
So they'll buy his lies. Men always have to maintain control. And who looks like they're in control? Trump saying no, and then throwing around sombreros. And Democrats are screaming, offended, defensive. Trump's ready to reopen the government whenever Democrats want. But in the meantime, he's having fun. If someone tries to email a bureaucrat right now at the Department of Education, they get a message that says, sorry, Democrats are shutting down the government.
The email reminds those who reach out to the Department of Education employees that we cannot respond because Senate Democrats are refusing to vote for a clean CR and fund the government.
Yo, did you peep that? You know how you be at work and you got to put your out of office message on your phone and shit? Trump then made everybody in all the government agencies put the out of office message on all the phones like, sorry, we're unavailable because the Democrats have shut down. Yo, because Senate Democrats are refusing to vote for a clean CR and fund the government. That's what he's making them put as the out of office. Yo. This man is the ultimate troll, and he's the president. That's what's so funny about this shit, bro. This is some once-in-a-lifetime shit, bro.
Government adding where's the line.
Out of office emails. And while the government is shut down, the president's agenda keeps rolling. The Democrats are playing right into his hand.
We are $37 trillion in debt, and the federal government is currently shut down. There is no more money coming into the federal government's coffers. Democrats have given this administration an unenviable choice to have to take a look at the balance sheet and identify where these cuts and layoffs can be made.
While the administration reduces the size of government because Democrats are holding out for illegal alien health care, AOC has kind of changed the definition of an illegal alien.
Republicans love to dangle this shiny object that says, but what if someone not like you gets it?
An illegal alien is just someone not like you. Schumer won't even have a discussion about what he's trying to pull. He just goes, no, 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 no.
Some of that obviously goes to people who don't have insurance, including undocumented immigrants. And
Jake, it's all a lot of bull. Not a single federal dollar. Not a single federal dollar goes to undocumented immigrants.
They lied about Biden's brain, the laptop, the lab leak, and Russia, Russia, Russia. No one believes anything they say anymore. We've already explained how it all works, but just use common sense. There's 20 million illegals in the country. When they get sick, have babies, get surgery, you think they're walking into medical facilities paying cash? 20 million illegals in this country are just not going to the doctor. They're getting sick and injured, and they don't have a lot of money to begin with. So who's taking care of them? Of course they're getting free health care. Blue states have whole programs that advertise free health care for illegals that the feds fund. We were spending money on sex changes for people living in other countries. You don't think we're giving illegal aliens health care in this country? The last time Democrats had a primary, they all raised their hands for health care for illegals. All of them. It's not about you. Never was. It's about their own jobs and doing whatever they can to keep their power. This is the Schumer shutdown. They want to hurt you so that they can keep their seats. They're admitting it. Listen.
Plenty of folks on the left who say, you know what? If Republicans have done this and they control all branches of the government, we should allow the American people to feel the pain of what Republican policies are. I mean, you can't keep, if you want to touch the stove, at some point, you got to let them touch the stove.
Bill Clinton wanted to feel your pain. Schumer wants you to feel pain. How times have changed.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to...
All right, but let me do my Elon segment. Because I didn't even know this was going on. I didn't know Elon was telling everybody to boycott Netflix because it is tea stuff, and that the Netflix stock has dropped precipitously. That people nationwide were canceling their subscriptions because they're pushing the tea agenda in the cartoons.
Netflix over the animated series Dead End Paranormal Park, which features a transgender lead character.
It's not the park. It's me. I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows. And being here, it's like a whole new place. I can just be Barney, and I can choose if and when I tell people. I've never been happier.
Well, Musk shared a post that said, quote, transgender propaganda isn't just quietly lurking in the background on Netflix. They are actively pushing it on users. Joining me now to react is Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, what do you think about this?
Well, Carly, you know, you have a child. Todd has kids. I have kids at young ages. And the fact that Netflix would go down this road, it's just a whole bowl of wrong. And
you say you hear Elon's building his version of an iPhone? If so, man, I'm getting it. And you know it's going to have Grok AI built into it. That shit's probably going to be on some Tony Stark shit, bro.
Elon Musk has more followers, I think, on Twitter than anybody in the world. So this is really going to have an impact. We're now seeing mass cancellations. And I'm not about cancel culture, but I could see why parents across the country are saying, I don't want my kid exposed to this stuff. I just don't understand why they would go down this road. But that goes back to the kind of people they hire.
Yo, spot on, Irv. I think that's a good point. It said many feel they are not getting justice in the school system over tea. So this here is a slam dunk.
And this is what we're seeing now as a result. So yeah, I just don't understand why, if you're Netflix, just give us good programming, give us the type of stuff that we want to watch. My wife loves the Sullivan Crossing and Virgin River. Fine, that's great. But to go here, obviously you're going to alienate people, and as a result, you're going to hurt your business. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, so the show's creator posted on Blue Sky, I have mostly been very okay today and found it all quite funny while really appreciating everyone who has reached out. But the extremely nasty, weird, homophobic, and anti-Semitic emails have started rolling in, and it's getting a little scary. I don't know what he means by either of those things, really, homophobic or anti-Semitic. But if you want to be the parent to teach your child about complex issues related to sexuality, shouldn't you be the one to do that?
Exactly. It all happens in the home. And in the home, I very easily can say, hey, I don't want Netflix anymore because I don't want my kid learning about this sort of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, again, playing the victim here is the producer. And obviously, he's probably going to have a problem finding a job after this because Netflix is really being hurt right now as far as people canceling. Therefore, the stock goes down. Therefore, a lot of things, bad things happen. I just don't understand why Netflix would go down this road when they have so much other great stuff on that site.
Well, it's a Netflix original. It's streamed for 20 episodes. It was canceled in 2023. Apparently, they're not actively promoting the show, but all the episodes remain active on the platform and available. So we'll watch that. Yeah. There's also this new Gallup poll shows a new low of Americans who trust in the media, as the number now sits at 28%. Does this number, 28%, surprise you, Joe?
No, it's actually a bit higher than one would think. But then again, mostly the people that are keeping it at 28% are Democrats because they like what they're hearing. And it appears that shingles, basically, and gas station sushi is more popular than the American media at this point. And that distinction, Carly, is completely earned. You simply have no balance, no objectivity. Every major issue is about cheering on Democrats, like we see with the shutdown, and demeaning Republicans as evil people. The problem is that more than half the country doesn't feel that way, hence this poll from Gallup. So, look, the only people that think that the media is doing a decent job are those on the left, because mostly people on the left are the ones that are feeding them the news. So again, I'd just love to get back to a point where we're like Cronkite and Roger Mudd and Brinkley and.
Yep, I said it all the time. The old time news journals, Walter Cronkite, Brinkley, and like the news bureau, where it was just the facts. You had a little bit of editorializing, but quality investigative journalism. When news reporters actually broke stories. Every said, unless one forgets, this anti-tea economy started years ago with forcing a cake maker to make a cake they disagreed with making. Solid. All right, let's just do this last segment. I want to do AI. We got an AI segment again because AI's all over the news as of late. This is OpenAI launches Sora 2 with an AI social media app, and I'm going to be checking it out. Oh yeah, I heard Elon's building AI Grokpedia to shut down Wikipedia, because Wikipedia has just become like a leftist like indoctrination database. You can't trust half the shit you see on Wikipedia now. I mean, not so much that you could before, but it's like heavily. They're like rewriting history with like leftist stuff on that joint.
The future of everything. We are talking about the future of social media, and we're being specific. TikTok, not because it's going anywhere, at least for now, but because there is a new app that just launched that is pretty similar. I mean, look at this. Like, you got For You up there. You've got all your doohickeys down here. You can scroll through endless vertical videos that people create. You can like, you can comment, you can tag people. But there's one big difference. All of the content that you see is AI generated. It's all powered by Sora 2, OpenAI's latest text-to-video model. It is not available to the public just yet, but thanks to our guest, who we're going to get to in a minute, we got an invite. Take a look at what we made.
Keep that turret busy! On your left! Eat this tin can! Drone down! Moving! Come on, come on!
Oh, that's what's up. All right, we're going to look at this after this AI segment then. That's what's up. That's what's up, Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm sent me the Tesla phone, the Pi phone link. Let's we're gonna look at after this AI segment. We'll put it on the screen. Let's look at his specs. See what's up.
Gotcha. That's one for the resistance.
Good evening. I'm Mason Lee. We begin tonight with, hold on, it's blank. Okay, we'll just, a massive water, it's gone. It's just gone. No, I can't read air, Kyle. We're live.
Okay, so apparently that was supposed to be me. I uploaded my face. Somehow I get mixed between Brian Chung and, I don't know, like Marco Rubio. Very weird. Both of those, yes, were supposed to be me. Jury is still out, but joining us now is NBC News tech contributor Joanna Stern, who I know had a lot more luck with getting her video to actually look like her because I tried to tag her in some of them. Thanks so much for the invite, Joanna. This is basically, to me at least, TikTok meets Snapchat meets Instagram and every other social media platform with some ChatGPT. Like, do we need this right now?
No, we don't need any more social media. But is this fun? Yes, you had fun. I've had a lot of fun. And so here we are. We're just consuming what people call AI slop or AI generated content constantly and ditching, you know, video made by real people or with real cameras just for AI video.
It's so funny. Yeah, AI slop. I just saw.
Hey, I ain't even mad at it. You see, I'm using mad AI generated video for this news desk show. Hey, I'm all for it, bro. Let's go.
Another one that was all about feeding us AI slop and us just eating it up like little piggies. So there was one thing that happened though. I was like, at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a video about Joanna and myself going to battle with Skynet, which was the first video that you saw there. I tried to tag you, even though we were friends, did not let me. It actually flagged it as like a content. Yeah, there was some sort of content restriction notice that I got because I imagine you were pretty sketched out by your likeness being able to be used by anybody, as was I. So we were both left with like making only videos for ourselves, and mine all stayed in the drafts. Is that what you saw as well?
Yeah, I locked it down. So the way this works is crazy, right? What you can do, as you described, is upload a short video of yourself. All the app asks for is you say a couple of numbers, like 3 numbers, and then it's able to take a video clone of you and a voice clone of you and deep fake you and put you in any real situation. I think we have a video here of me trying to take your job, but maybe we want to watch that real quick.
This just in, Sora 2, a new OpenAI video model, can make just about anything.
Job stolen already. Yeah, you're way better. You're reporting on cooler stories, clearly.
But like look, that wasn't my voice. I've made some others where my voice does sound quite a bit like me, but that does look like me, right? And I asked it, put me in an anchor chair, put me in a professional looking suit, and it just did that within seconds. And so then I made some other clips where I actually really look like me just sitting in my office here. And so they call this feature Cameo. They make it so you can have fun, you can do this. Sam Altman has made his Cameo public for anyone on the platform to use, Sam Altman being the CEO of OpenAI. And so here's one video I made of Sam Altman eating spaghetti slop. Right. And so I could just do that and upload it. And so this is a real question of, yes, it's fun, but also easy deep fakes for anyone to make.
Easy and fun and delicious deep fakes for society to make. What could go wrong? But okay, so Joanna, like, explain this. If we can pull up one of the ones that I made, how do you, and then put me up next to them, like, how do you explain how poorly it, like, okay, this guy does this. I mean, I would love it if I look like this guy. That guy, that's not it. What went wrong there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if one, your video capture wasn't great. Like, I don't know what kind of scene you did it in with lighting. You know, I'm not sure you have access to good video studios with lighting, Gotti, but maybe you can try that. But also maybe in some cases, what they're trying to do, and which I've seen them try to do too in some of the videos I've created, is make it look more cartoonish, make it look not as realistic. And that's all done by the prompting. I mean, people who are watching and you're wondering how we made these, I mean, we just typed in a few words. In mine, it was at Joanna Stern, make her look like an anchor in a broadcast chair in a studio, and then show a robot riding a unicorn, as one does.
Yeah, I think they like saw mine and they're like, ooh, yikes, let's hook this guy up with some beards and, make him look a little younger. Joanna Stern, we will see you on Sora, I guess.
Oh, I could definitely mess with that. Yo, I turned my head for a minute and the whole chat then flooded in. Brother Zeke said last night's panel was fire. Oh, with Obsidian? Yeah, we had a good show with Obsidian last night. Phil Waff in the building. He said Quiet Storm be knowing subnutting very well. Yo, what up, Phil? He said Obsidian was excellent last night. I do math in my sleep, Sensei. Phil Waff in the building. Let's do some drops. Phil, I don't know if you've seen it. Phil, did you see this Star Trek drop?
Transfer complete. USS Enterprise now under command of Captain Tony Soprano.
Now get the out of here. Captain's log. I'm currently trying to change my business profile, if you know what I mean. There's the money. You're supposed to be earners. That's why you got the top tier positions. So each one of you crack some heads, create some earners out there.
I do not understand.
Oh, nobody knows what the I'm talking about.
Sir, the Federation...
I don't want to hear about the economy either. I don't want to hear it. Off by a
All right, let's Quiet Storm sent me this. Let's look at these Tesla Pi Phone 2025 specs. Let's see what we got here. Did they give us any specs, or is this just a promo? And it's got Starlink built in, solar charging, Neuralink compatibility. That's crazy. That's crazy. So you'd be able to control the phone with your brain. I don't know about I'm assuming you have to get the chip put in your head, though. Biometric, satellite, global community. Between $800 and $1,500. They've been talking about this Pi phone for like the last 5 years. The specs look good. It's running Android 12, Snapdragon processor. I didn't even know they had an official Neuralink site. If they could make the Neuralink like transdermal prosthetic, I think people would get that. Phil Wife said, and you imagine Keisha controlling something with her brain? Yeah, Johnny Mnemonic is almost here. So I know a couple people have already had the Neuralink implanted. They help one blind guy can see because of it, and I think they cured a deaf guy with it. But like I said, if they can make a version of the Neuralink that's transdermal, I think a lot of people would get that one. Brother Zeke said, in trucking during the weekend, getting caught up, working on getting a different schedule, otherwise, mainly a weekend warrior. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for coming by and hanging out tonight, man. That's the news. We're at the 1 hour, 27 minute mark. I don't know. I don't know. You guys want to do see if we can find something by the numbers and get up out of here? We'll do that. See what Mark's got over here. Let's see if we do a partial by the numbers. We got like 20 minutes. What's Mark got? All right, this one's on the shutdown. Americans want the government gutted. All right, let's see. All right, let's see what the numbers say for the shutdown. Let's see. Let me see if he's got something else. What do we got? He said, "My bad." That was a response to Theo. Hold on, let's see what we got. We got blame game. Okay, let's do this one. All right, let's do this one then. Good news. We got advanced surge. Yeah, all right. And who cares about the Republican New Jersey race?
And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well. Yes, it. Yes, it. Yes, namely, the Max Headroom story.
All right, let's do a small bite of numbers before we get out of here. This one's Mark over at RAS, and this is some of American sentiment on the actual government shutdown, since news is spinning that the American public is upset. From what I've been seeing, general sentiment, people is just like, well, if they want to give $500 billion to illegal migrants for health care, screw it. Shut it down. All right, so let's see what our boy Mark's talking about. This one is blame for the shutdown doesn't matter. Americans want the government gutted. Let's go.
Transfer payments going on there. But the Republicans were like, no, do not raise taxes. 82% said no, 11% said yes. Democrats wanted to raise taxes in order to sort of get through this fight, to get a deal. Rate the way that President Obama has handled the debt ceiling issue. 41% poor, 18% fair, so 59%, not good numbers. If the government defaults on its debt, would that be good or bad for the economy? Everybody knew it would probably be bad. 69% bad, only 6% said good. 14% said no impact. And the Democrats did not want this to happen. Obviously, their guy was in office. 79% said bad, only 60% of Republicans, 69% of independents. And which is more dangerous in the short term, the government defaulting on its debt or failure to significantly cut government spending? And failure to cut spending wins 52% to 37%. And man, could you imagine if our national debt was just the number that it probably was in 2011? I looked it up. It was only like $15 trillion. Unbelievable. Now, we don't have to get into the details of the Budget Control Act and whether Democrats or Republicans were unhappy about very specific components, like, for instance, the fact that sequestration cuts affected defense spending, something that Republicans were upset about. But they made a deal, and the deal was disapproved of, 53% to only a 22% approve. And so a shutdown was averted. There was a Republican and Democrat bipartisan deal, but nobody liked it, which I think is a pretty important signal, especially when you consider the other signal that people want the spending cut. 61% of Republicans were against it, Democrats 40% against to 34 in favor, and independents hated it, 59% disapproved to 16% approve. And nobody thought, I mean, very few people thought that this agreement would result in a significant decrease in government spending over the next few years. 58% said not likely, and only 35% said likely. Only 6% said very likely. Republicans were like, nope, it's absolutely not going to cut spending. What's that? 81% not likely. Only 11% of Democrats thought it was very likely. And independents were like, no way. 32% likely, but only 3% very likely. Under the agreement, will government spending over the next few years be higher or lower? 40% higher, 16% lower. Republicans higher 56% to 11, and Democrats were like split at 20 basically. If Congress doesn't reduce spending by 1.5 trillion over 10 years, would you favor or oppose automatic spending cuts to defense and Medicare? And so here's the thing, right? It's like people want the spending cut, but they don't want certain specific things touched, at least in 2011, because only 29% favored cuts to those programs, 52% opposed, and Democrats and Republicans were both opposed. Republicans 45 to 35, Democrats 66 to 22. Then we skip ahead to 2013, and we actually got a government shutdown. Republicans were trying to delay implementation of the Affordable Care Act, and the government was shut down for 16 days, affecting 800,000 federal workers, and ultimately was reopened with a continuing resolution. But here's the thing. Should Congress and the president raise the debt ceiling so that the government can pay for the commitments it has already made? Now, this is before the actual shutdown began. Should Congress and the president raise the debt ceiling so that the government can pay for the commitments it has already made? Only 39% said yes, 38% said no, and only 18% of Republicans said yes. 58% of Republicans said no, do not raise the debt ceiling. Only 60% of Democrats wanted the debt ceiling raised, and independents were plurality against raising it, 41% to 36%. And there was like, again, another threat of default here. Should any deal to raise the debt ceiling include long-term reforms to reduce the deficit by cutting the cost of entitlement programs, including Social Security and Medicare? Now, keep this one in the back of your head, because only 30% say yes, 52% say no. We are going to see very strong anti-spending signals. But back in 2013, there was not the resolve to go after Social Security and Medicare. Did not exist. And obviously, there's a huge age signal here. The 18 to 39s, 39% of them said no, but it was 64% of voters over 65. That Republicans were basically split on this, 42 to 43%. So that's the thing. It's like they're fiscally conservative, but there are likely a lot of older ones here, and they're like, no, hands off the Social Security and Medicare. And obviously, the Democrats didn't want those systems touched at all. But what's the best approach for dealing with the debt ceiling issue? Raise without any significant spending cuts, 25%. Raise as part of a deal to reduce long-term cost of entitlement programs, 41%. That's the plurality winner. Or remain unchanged so government will default on its debt. So that's the burn it down signal, 18%. And so the idea of just lifting the debt ceiling, it's not something Americans want. It's only 25% of them. They really do want long-term cuts to these entitlement programs. Just don't use the word Social Security and Medicare, man. Oof. Now, this was like a few weeks later, and just 20% of voters believe a partial shutdown of the federal government would be good for the economy. 56% said such a shutdown would be bad for economy, even though payments for things like Social Security, Medicare, and unemployment would continue. Only 16% say no impact. But 58% favor a federal budget that cuts spending. Only 16% favor one that increases spending. So the signal was getting stronger. Cut spending. Cut spending. Now, it was a 16-day shutdown. This is right after the beginning of it. How much of an impact have you felt from the shutdown? And here's the thing, 47% no impact at all, 38% minor impact. So 85% say minor or no impact at all. Only 13% say a major impact. And there's really not much in the way of a party signal other than the fact that independents are the most likely to say that there was no impact. So that's a pretty important thing. Now, how will the shutdown impact the overall economy? Only 5% say very positive, but 69% say negative, 35% somewhat, and 34% very. And I'm guessing since Obama is in office, it's Democrats driving that. Yeah, 77% of them say negative impact. But how?
All right, let's jump forward because those are historical numbers. Let's jump forward. Those are historicals. Let's do, here we go.
If Congress fails to fund it. 42% favored, 52% opposed, only 71% of Republicans favored. And, independents weren't there yet, 40% to 51%. So this is the thing about Trumpism. Like, Trump had a good platform. He had the right platform, in my opinion, to appeal to voters that were oppressed by a statist, oppressive establishment government fixated on maximizing rent seeking and kleptocracy. Once you throw that into the mix, all of a sudden people are like, oh yeah, Trump was right. We really need catapults on the border. That's literally what happened. The Democrats gave Trump to America. So, we had more of this in 2021. I won't get into the details. There wasn't a shutdown, but there was a lot of talk about it. And this is obviously under Biden. And obviously the debt numbers are going up right now. The U.S. national debt is now around $28 trillion. Congress wants to raise the current debt ceiling that limits additional borrowing by the federal government. Do you support or oppose raising the debt ceiling? People are like, no, I don't want the debt ceiling to go up. Only 23% support raising it, 40% at least somewhat. But 52% are opposed, 34% strongly. Republicans are very strongly opposed, 51%, a combined 72% opposed. And only 37% of Democrats strongly support raising the debt ceiling. Congress is currently deadlocked over a $3.5 trillion spending deal. Do you support or oppose the passage of this bill? Only 21% strongly support, only 36% at least somewhat. 53% oppose, 41% strongly. Yet the trillions, people don't want the trillions. And those numbers would have been worse, except Democrats were all for this. It was a Biden bill, and Democrats really stopped caring about spending under Biden. 59% supported, 39% strongly. Independents were really against. 30%, only 30% supported, and only 14% somewhat. 56% opposed. And here's a little context added as only Rasmussen reports can. The radical left want to use this terrible but temporary pandemic as a Trojan horse for permanent socialism. And President Biden, who ran as a unifying moderate, is either powerless to stop them or does not wish to. And here's the thing. Well, do you support or oppose free markets? Do you support or oppose increased spending for more Medicare? Do you, these very bland questions, sometimes people are confused. They don't understand what that means. They don't understand the ramification or the context. But if you give them a good quote, you can really see what America thinks here. 59% agree with that statement, 43% strongly. And this is famously September of 2021, when everybody was shouting FJB in stadiums all across America. Only 24% strongly disagreed, and the Democrat numbers are stunning. Only 36% of Democrats strongly disagree with that, but 46% agreed. So this isn't like, well, there's Republicans and there's Democrats, and we had a financial crisis, but they'll be able to work together and sort through their issues. No, we're talking about like globalist plans for Trojan horses for socialism, and almost 60% of voters agreeing that that's what's going on and that Biden is unwilling or unable to stop it. More talk about shutdowns in January of 2023. This would have been right about when the 118th Congress was coming in. Now, and this is one of my more favorite questions that I think we've started following, which is more to blame for the size of the federal budget deficit, taxpayers' unwillingness to pay more in taxes, or the politicians who are unwilling to reduce government spending. And when you frame it this way, Americans think that the spending is because the people in the government just don't want to. It's not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. So that's, again, the thing about the blame question. Americans blame.
All right. I just dropped the link to the full video and numbers breakdown with the polling, because what he's doing, he's doing comparative shutdown polling data sets under Obama, Biden, and he's going to get to this current one at the end. So I'm going to jump forward to that. But if you want to watch the full thing in its entirety, I'll have it linked in the description, but there's the link in the chat too. This is Mark over at Rasmussen. Let's jump ahead to the Trump's current polling data set.
Spending at its current level or reduces it. This was our story earlier in the week, I think, but we did this poll again. How likely is it that there will be a government shutdown? This was asked September 21st to 23rd. The number would probably be higher if we asked it again, but 65% of voters think it's likely, and that includes a lot of Republicans, 61%. So Republicans are like, yeah, probably going to get shut down because they don't care. They aren't going to give Chuck Schumer your concessions for healthcare for illegal aliens. They don't care. And 72% of Democrats think it's likely there will be a shutdown too. Now, Chuck Schumer's out there saber rattling, but he also just caved back in March. So I think this is a signal that there's some latent desire for this to happen. People are like, yeah, it's coming. We're going to shut it down. We're not going to cave. We're not going to fold. This is a game of chicken. If there's a government shutdown, who will be most to blame? And again, Republicans in Congress, 29%, President Trump, 21%. So that's 50 to 38% Democrats in Congress. But we're going to see the same signal here. Look at this. Republicans say, yeah, Republicans are in Congress to blame. Well, that's because they want you to do your job and cut spending more. So who cares who's to blame? Republicans are blaming Republicans in Congress. You should have fixed this first. The reason we're having this shutdown is because you didn't do your jobs. Okay, so here's another way to look at it. You could add up Republicans in Congress and Trump and say it's 50%. And so the right is going to get blamed. Or you could say, well, President Trump is the first anti-establishment president we've had in decades. And only 21% blame Trump. That's pretty good because 67% blame Congress. And if you look at Democrats, 65% blame Congress. Only 28% of Democrats blame President Trump. And among Republicans, what's that? 83% blame Congress. And among independents, it's 54%. Congress is not doing its job. And this fits with all the polling that we showed that Republicans, specifically Trump supporters, are not happy with Republicans in Congress. Only 38% very favorable rating among Trump 2024 voters. And if you go out to Trump voters, only 65% of Donald Trump 2024 voters blame Democrats in Congress. 20% of them blame Republicans in Congress. Pretty wild. And only 31% of Kamala Harris voters blame Donald Trump. So the blame doesn't matter. Now, as the clock's ticking down here, as I'm recording this, maybe I should check. I don't know if they've gotten a deal yet, but it's already being floated that Schumer's talking to some moderate Democrats behind the scenes, preparing for some kind of temporary multi-day CR, 7 or 10 days, that might skirt the shutdown. So it looks like he could be folding already because Donald Trump came out there with some really strong truths and said, nope, I walked away from this. The Democrats are not negotiating in good faith. They don't have the political power now. And it's true. They're out there pushing, again, healthcare for illegal aliens when voters overwhelmingly do not support that. They want the illegal aliens the hell out of this country. So obviously it's a political loser for Chuck Schumer to keep focusing on this. And I can only ask why. Why is he out there pushing this stuff? George Soros is funding an effort to force a government shutdown. Radical left-wing activist organization bankrolled by George Soros' network is leading a campaign to push Senate Democrats into blocking government funding, even if it triggers a partial government shutdown. Indivisible, the same left-wing group that organized the No Kings protest and other anti-Trump demonstrations, is urging Democrat lawmakers to refuse any bipartisan deal with Republicans and Trump ahead of the September 30 deadline. The group's website is currently hosting a call to action tool, allows supporters to contact Democrat senators directly, complete with a script pressuring them to deny Trump what the group calls a blank check. It's just a clean CR. Federal government funding runs out on September 30th, and Republicans need Democrats to vote to clear the filibuster to avoid a government shutdown. The script reads, Democrats have a strong hand to play. They must use it to deny Donald Trump the blank check Republicans want to hand him. According to Indivisible's own disclosure, its political arm, the Indivisible Project, has received more than $7.6 million from Soros' Open Society foundations over the past 8 years. OSF, founded by George Soros and now chaired by his son Alex, is one of the most influential left-wing grant-making networks in the world. The group's latest push comes as Democrat leaders continue to resist Republican-passed continuing resolutions that keep spending in check. Instead, the Senate Democrats, under Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, have demanded funding bills that include sweeping progressive priorities. So it's like, pay for all our progressive stuff. No, you're not in power. Okay, well then we're going to shut the government down. Like, that's what is going on here. And the Republicans are like, no, you're insane. And so Soros is saying, well, I don't care how bad it looks. We're going to shut this down. And like, I just don't get the reasoning. Here you have AOC publicly blasting Schumer, and he got, he caved the last time. He got pushed all the way to the end and then caved. And then they, Reddit, they wanted him clawed out of office. How is this a political winner for the Democrats? So they're either going to cave and Schumer's going to look like an absolute idiot again, or the government's going to get shut down and then what? I think Trump is going to use, we'll take a look at that in a second. I think Trump has a plan to use this government shutdown. And so what's the upside here? I think it's just to inflame the left more. Is it because of accelerationism? Is that what this is? Are they just trying to bring the system down through any chaos they can in order to try and implement rapid change? Are they trying to raise the temperature in America? Because it's a political loser. Why would you do something that's a political loser for Democrats? So out of the Atlantic, Trump's grand plan for a government shutdown, the Trump administration might use a shutdown to finish the job that Doge started. And it's a whole bunch of fear-mongering about, hollowing out the government workforce in ways that you can go read it yourself. But some on the left are afraid that Trump is going to enjoy this government shutdown. But here, in my opinion, is what it's all about. Institutional trust. And it's not about we do have programs. People want the programs. People like having a federal government. People want a Republican and Democrat party that can negotiate and agree to budgets and be sane. And unfortunately, the Democrats have been subjected to a lot of psychological manipulation to a point where I don't even think they know what they want anymore. But what they want is fairness. Deep down, they just don't know what it looks like. They don't know how. How likely is it that some employees of the federal government have engaged in fraud to enrich themselves with taxpayer money? And 72% say it's likely. Only 7% say not at all likely. And pretty strong agreement across all party lines, including 59% of Democrats who say it's likely. How would you describe your current feelings about the amount of waste, fraud, and abuse in federal government spending? 45% very angry, 25% somewhat angry, so that's 70%. Only 25% are not angry, only 8% not at all angry. And again, a pretty big majority of Democrats, 60%, are angry. So bipartisan support. Everybody is angry at the level of waste, fraud, and abuse in the government. And so is it really that unexpected that pretty much everybody supports the government shutdown, including 40% of Democrats? They want the spending to stop. They want rationality. And, stop with the blame stuff. In fact, good. Blame me for the shutdown. Maybe we will actually get some activity out of Congress. So make sure you like the video and subscribe at Rasmussen_poll. Please share this. I would like for this message to hopefully get to some Republican lawmakers. So Republicans, make sure you keep a stiff upper lip. Sometimes it's important to be seen to be fighting for something, for principle. And that principle is make the insane spending stop and don't care at all about the blame games.
Spot on. All right. That's a wrap, gentlemen. We're at the 1 hour, 52 minute mark. Thanks for coming hanging out with me. We do News Desk again tomorrow. That was by the numbers last minute. Good night and good luck.
And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Sorry.
Hey, where's Stewie?
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter.
There it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean, to play us out? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today, and we'll leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it, and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Stewie Griffin. Thanks for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.